Every operating system needs some antivirus solution. It doesn't matter what operating system you're running. Certainly, there are people who believe that only Windows is subject to viruses. That's absolutely not true. Every desktop operating system, even server operating systems, are prone to viruses. This includes Linux. So, you need some sort of antivirus solution, particularly if you're running a server where files may be coming into your system. If you've got a website, for example, where people are allowed to upload anything, you absolutely need antivirus. If you're running a mail server, it's really helpful to have an antivirus solution running on your system. So there are a handful of antivirus solutions that will run under Linux. One of them happens to be open source, and it's called ClamAV. So there are a couple of components to ClamAV that I want to talk about here. The first one is called FreshClam. FreshClam is the program that will go and make sure that your signatures are up to date. Now, you'll notice that I used sudo in order to run FreshClam. That's because this is a system level activity, meaning that the signatures are all stored at the operating system level. So for the entire system, that means I need administrative privileges in order to make these update changes. So once I have got an update, what I can do is I can now run ClamScan. And I'm going to do a recursive ClamScan. And I'm running it here. This is in my home directory. It should just be running against all of the files in my home directory. And then you can see we did a recursive scan that looked through everything. I scanned 465 files and ended up finding nothing there. So in order to scan the entire system, now I need to say ClamScan, and now I've got to run with administrative privileges. So I need sudo, and I'm going to say recursive again, and we're going to run it against slash. So now we're going to scan every file on the operating system. Everything in the file system is going to be scanned. There are a number of directories that I'm just not going to be able to scan. The pseudo file systems like sys and proc and probably most of dev aren't going to be able to be scanned. We're going to get a number of errors, but we're going to scan basically everything else. And so we're going to make a complete scan of the entire operating system. And then once it's done, we'll get a report, just as we did when I scanned my home directory. We'll get a report of all of the files that are on the file system. So let me just cut this short here because it's scanning a very large file system, and I just want to stop it short so we can wrap this up and not have it just screaming across the screen like that. So FreshClam gets you signature updates. ClamScan will do the scan for you. ClamAV, as I said, is an open source antivirus solution that runs on Linux. And as I said, Linux is definitely prone to viruses. You should absolutely get an antivirus solution if you are running a desktop, and if you're running a server where files are coming through your system, absolutely get antivirus in place.